Welcome, welcome, welcome to Garnet Queen Tarot. How are my wonderful Libras doing? How are you guys doing? Hope all is well. Well, before we get into our routine, we always got to practice our breathing. So we're going to inhale, exhale twice, and then shake it off, and we're going to start our reading journey. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope all is well. Spirit, speak to us on behalf of our wonderful Libras. Help them to resolve issues. Help them to pay attention and to listen to the messages. Help them to become more in tune with themselves so they could understand more of what is meant to be said. Allow them to see the signs. Allow them to follow their intuition. Allow them to grow and be their best selves. Stay positive is what they're going to incur on their journey through it all. Help them to see, spirits. Help the ancestors to get messages to them so they can continue to rise up above circumstances. Help them. Oh, these cards turned the wrong way. Okay. Talk to us now. Help them to hear and see the truth. Help them rise up above circumstances. Spirit, speak to us. Yes. Reveal the messages for them. Ooh, this is a nice card. This is the 10 of Pentacles. Yes. Anytime a card is full of green, tell me what does it mean? Tell me what does it mean? We have the 7 of Wands. We have the 2 of Cups. We have the King of Cups. We have the Hierophant. And we have the 10 of Wands. Yes. And before we get started, let's see what our number is. Please reveal the number that is meant for our wonderful Libras to see. Wow. You wouldn't believe I've been seeing this number this week. 111. 111. Follow what you feel. Listen as your intuition helps to guide you to what you are manifesting. The inner whispers are helping you to create all that it is that you desire. Listen, lean in and follow your soul. Listen and lean in as you follow your soul. Life is always happening for me. I am allowing myself to learn to lean into what feels good, because the manifestation is a feeling. So your feeling and your number is 111. It means you're on the right path. It means that you're listening more to who you are and not making emotional decisions. This is a big deal for you. This is a big deal for you, and I like that. I like that. Let us dig deep down and find out what is going on with our wonderful Libras. Woo! You putting in the work. Ooh, you sweating. I hope you got a hanky or a tissue or something. You are placing significant action into what it is that you are seeking, and you are tired. Libra, you've been going through a lot of stuff and putting up and tolerating a lot of stuff as well. but it looks like everything is starting to manifest in your direction. Because what I love about the Ten of Pentacles, I love the green in it. It shows growth, it shows connection with family, it shows you creating your own wealth and being able to be proud of your achievement. And then you go back to the drawing board and you continue to reap your rewards, because you're looking at things from a different perspective now, because you've seen what you could accomplish on your own. So now you're putting more grit into it, more grind into it, more attitude in it, more belief into it. And you're not by yourself. You've partnered with someone so that the burden wouldn't be so much on you. There's somebody trustworthy in your midst that you felt a real connection with for growth. And where you may be lacking, they may have a compromise to continue with you on the right track. So you all complement each other. And that's always a good thing. And you see what I love? You even got the 111. And 111 is a big deal. I don't know how many of you have who get that on a constant basis, but it is such an uplifting card where it's showing you that your hard work is about to pay off if it hasn't already. It shows you that you're on the right path to gain in knowledge and to understand where you're headed. And when you arrive there, what to do. It's helping to lead you and keep you in positive mode. And you've taken the action, the movement is there, you're putting in the hard work, and you're relishing on your growth. And now you feel comfortable being able to share with someone else that has the same mindset as you. Someone that is working to not only make themselves better, to make you better as well. Because when you do better, they do better, and you both multiply and add wealth to your chart, add wealth to your life. And you're on stable and solid ground. And with the Hierophant, automatically, you're in there to teach and to learn and to absorb information. You're like a leader. What you've learned along the way, your experiences help to build up from where you want to be. So when you go through the motions, a lot of times you'll go through things and don't even realize that there's a significant message in it for you. And it shows you becoming more stable, becoming more inside of yourself, where you're learning about who you are, what you represent, how to maintain, how to be your best self. It's a big deal for you. It's a really big deal for you. And the one thing when you know you're growing is when you can measure and see it. You can see where you started from, and then you work on that so you can multiply and you can grow. It's a process. It's all about a process. Think about baking a cake, okay? You're going to bake a nice yellow cake, and the process is either you're doing it from a box or you're creating it from scratch on your own. It's important before you start baking, they tell you to put the oven on so it could be warm and not fall when you place your cake to bake in the oven. You're told to put out certain ingredients before you start moving. So it needs eggs, it needs milk, it needs butter or water, whatever you're putting inside of it per what you normally do. It's a process. The cake is not going to bake automatically. You have to be able to follow the steps to get to the final goal, and that is having a delicious, well-baked cake that you love. So when you're working on something, you have to set yourself up to have the ingredients that you need so it can continue being mixed in. You add any additives you want to it to give it the flavor that you want. but you know there's a process prior to even putting it in the oven to bake. And then you got to mix it up, get those lumps and bumps out of there. It's a process. So when you think of all that you have to do to make this cake come out the way you want it to, tweak it as needed for your own flavoring and preferences. But it's a process, and that is what you're going through. It takes sweat equity, mixing that cake, mixing unless you use a blender and blend it up or a mixer. Otherwise, you got to do them strokes of probably like 250 to 300 strokes. But you don't get mad at the process of it. You know this has to be done for it to bake and be good. So you give it your all so that you can have a nice cake. That's the same thing in life. You got to give it your all. You got to keep mixing and mixing and tweaking so that it could come out the way you want it to. I want cinnamon in it. I want vanilla in it. I like a little tinge of nutmeg. You customize it to what you would be comfortable with. But it is a process. And you're learning that right now because, Libra, you're in different stages of your life. You're in stages where you can see your growth. You know that you're getting closer to your goal because you're working even harder to complete everything. You can see that you're inching closer. You were able to get a partner to come in with you so you could do things together. It could be a side hustle, a hobby, whatever, but it's about moving forward. You have movement. There's movement. You're digging ditches. You're making things happen. You're standing upright. And you're not in the mode anymore to let people tear you down or make you feel less than. You don't have time for it. It's exhausting. You're focusing on getting your grind on. And obviously, with your 111, it shows you're on the right path. It shows that you're moving forward to what it is you're setting up for yourself. And you know, a key word is patience. Patience. If life and everything you wanted would just go like that, you'd be in a fantasy. You wouldn't be in a reality. You brush things off, you laugh at it, but you know what? You are strategically ambiguous. When other people are laughing and doing this and doing that, and you laugh with them too sometimes, you know your plan. You know what you're working on. You know what you're working on, and you've learned through the process that it's not always good to put all your cards on the table. So you've learned to hold back somewhat and do things and surprise people when it's completed. This way you save yourself the embarrassment in case things don't work out right away. You realize, you know what? Let me go ahead and move forward with my plan of action so that it could develop and it could go through the process of what I needed to go through in order for me to elevate and to rise above. Through life, you'll see many clues, many messages, many suggestions. And as you go through the process, you're learning along the way. So you have to recognize sense from nonsense. What is important to be part of my life in order for me to grow? This is when you're getting into serious business right now. You're taking hold of your life. You've seen other people do it and make it. So why not you? Why not me is the question. Exactly. Why not you? You're not lollygagging and just doing this or playing games or needing to be in the club all the time. You're seeing what's going on in this world. And you're making things happen for yourself. You can't sit on the sidelines with just hope. You have to place action behind your words, intentional actions. It'll help you to elevate and get closer to your goals and dreams as you continue to learn through the process and along the way. This is serious business right now, Libra. You're coming into your own. You've put in the hard work. You know what it's like to not have and to do without. And you're setting yourself up in such a way that you have sufficient for yourself, but you're helping people along the way. You're not greedy. You're not keeping everything for yourself. You just want people to approach you and to do things in the right way, not to hate on you, but to help elevate you. And you want to believe that there are still good people in this world that you could help and that can help you. And there are. There are. But you know what? That takes a lot of energy and time to get to know them, to figure things out. You have this mindset, which no one can take away from you, about envisioning yourself on higher ground where your goal is tangible. You will go through the hard work, the effort to make it better for yourself and for other people. But Libra, you've taken that message that, I have to do good for myself first and then bring other people around. But people are like, what are you talking about? If you don't complete your task, you can't tell me how to complete mine. Practice what you preach. And a lot of times people fall short and they run to tell people, I'm doing this, I'm doing it. Don't do that. Don't do it. People take things. First impression means a lot. Okay? First impression means a lot. Libra, you like to look good and you're about your business. There are people that look at you and may say, he or she got it going on. That Libra is no joke. They got it going on. They must be rich. They must be that. You look rich. Let me tell you, you look rich before you even struck gold. Did you hear what I said? You look rich before you even struck gold because how you carry yourself. My father used to tell us that all the time. He was like, go out like you're worth $1,000,000. Dress your best. Look your best. Be well groomed. Don't let people catch you off guard. Never let them see you sweat. My dad used to say that all the time. It's like, and they used to have a commercial back in the day like that. Never let them see you sweat. When you go through things in life, my father says people don't have to know your business unless you tell them. Don't look like your life is hard, still hard, and going to forever be hard. Always look your best. And you know why I say that? My dad, he worked on a job for like 25 years and retired. And before he got promoted, he worked in janitorial services, making sure all the floors are clean and this and that. And he was part of a team. But my dad has always gone the extra mile. Just like you are exemplifying here, Libra, you always do more than what's expected of you because you see a reward in that package somewhere. And my father used to do so well, so well. And then one of the bosses said to him, you could be like the assistant manager until I retire, and then you can get my job. He said, do you have a college degree? And my dad was like, no. He said, you need to have one because they'll use that as an excuse not to promote you. So my father started going to night school until he graduated. Because I remember, and I was like, Daddy, why are you coming back so late all the time? He says, I'm working on my college degree. Work during the day and they're paying for my education in the evening. I was like, wow, no matter what. And my father wasn't even from the United States. He was from the islands. So, different things you have to learn, certain way you have to speak and do things. And when it came time, he graduated, he finished. I was so happy for him. And he said, one day you'll be like me, you'll be smart like me. I'm like, oh, brother. But I was so proud of my dad. And he made it his business. And you know what? He got that promotion to supervisor. And it was in supplies and orders and all these type of things. It was like, wow. And let me tell you how he was. He presented himself this way. My father loved to dress. My father would dress every day in a three-piece suit. When he went to work, he had suits, his shirts went to the cleaners then. They used to iron his shirts and do everything. And I remember that was a big deal. My mom always had to rush the cleaners to get his shirts for work. And, that was a big deal for my dad. And people didn't know when he would get on the train. Sometimes he'd drive into work, sometimes he'd take the train to avoid traffic. But he was always dressed. People thought he worked in some big office, and not knowing that when he wore his suits to work, he would change in the locker room and put on a custodial outfit. But people always thought he worked in an office there in the building. And he would change, and he always looked good and always looked professional. And he said, you must always carry yourself in a manner with no recourse, where you stand up strong, look good, and present yourself according to who you are. And my dad said that all the time. And you're on that path of elevation. We already know because of 111 you're on the right path, right? So everything else is going to fall in line. Look at what you're doing and what you're holding together. Okay? Look at that. That's work. Working. This is all you making the right efforts. And you know what? There's somebody that likes you, wants to be with you, but you are wrapped up in your thoughts right now about getting through some things. And you already know that sometimes when you're climbing up the ladder, you start shining like a diamond, and people start saying, ooh, I need to cling on to this diamond because they looking good, like they got some expensive gear on. Libra is no joke when it comes to dressing. A Libra will throw some stuff together and be sharp. You might even put a hat and tilt it to the side. And Libras are really showstoppers. Really, seriously. Libras are really showstoppers. They like to look their best and be their best. So when I was telling you the story about my dad, it's like how you present yourself. How you present yourself to other people. And you can't take back a first impression. That's why you do your best to look your best wherever you travel. Even if it's going to the mailbox. You wouldn't believe how many people be in your business. Focus on being your best self, because what's happening, you've got options coming to you. You're still climbing. There's green in circulation. There's somebody seeking you out, wanting to be part of your life that you've been ignoring and not really taking them up on how they've been putting themselves out there for you. You're not that into them. You like flirting and fooling around and stuff like that, but there's some characteristics that everybody must have that wants to be with you. And you know what those are. Because if they don't fit in line with that, you're not even going to let them cross the front door. Not even have a date. Because you expect things a certain way. That's how you grew up. That's how you were taught. And you look for the best. You don't just take any old thing because you're a showstopper and you want somebody to be a showstopper with you, or else that's a person that'd be stuck at home because you're not taking them nowhere. You carry yourself in a certain manner and you look well doing it. You've got career, you've got partnerships, you've got a chance to grow, bringing your family into it. So this might be a new business venture that you are connecting with, and you want to help people because you don't want nobody coming and asking you for nothing if they could do it themselves. You believe in working diligently to obtain what you want. and to make up your mind that you're going to get it. You pick up very easily on things, and you don't want to be an employee anymore. You really want to have your own, so you're working toward that. But for stability purposes, to continue building on your foundation, you ensure that you have that stable ground to stand on, sit on, to embrace, to see yourself rising on it. You've seen many people fall, and you've tried so many ways to do things. That's why you've partnered with someone. So it's not just your sweat. You have somebody you could trust, that you could work with, that you all can build together to make this happen for you. You're getting closer with family and friends. You see, when you're going through stuff, you don't really want to be bothered with some people. You can't help it. That's who you are. You sometimes want to wallow in your own self-pity until you could clean it up and say, you know what? I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through this. Because, and you know what? You used to care what people had to say in the realm of certain things. But now, because of the fact that you're getting into you again, you're believing in yourself and realizing that we all have to go through some things. You're recognizing that everything doesn't just happen overnight. You know that there's a process for it to go through. You know that no matter what people say about you, it doesn't matter, because you're not going to give up on your journey. You've taught yourself that. You know, it's just sometimes things become so overwhelming. You don't know if you could get through. You get so tired at times. You're exhausted. It's overwhelming. You feel like you're not going to get through. But when you start getting exhausted and tired and want to take a break, is when your breakthrough is about to happen. Your breakthrough is about to happen. You've taught yourself so much. You've learned so much. You pay attention more now. You don't just assume or just accept. You accept the things you can't change, but you put the work in to see if there's a possibility for change to take place. You don't give up. That's why some people can't stand you, because you don't give up. You don't believe in giving up unless it's really you beating a dead horse. But you feel that anything that you put your mind to, you can really work through it to achieve it. Right? You can really work through it to achieve what you are seeking. You know, it's like you're working on being more assertive, more focused, more focused. That's what it is. You are more focused. Libra, I must say that before you were a little bit of a fly-by-night with certain things, even relationships. But now that you are really in tune with who you are, you know what you want, you're putting in that work. You're more assertive. You're more in a mindset of, I'm not settling anymore. You're on this type of defensive where I'm tired of just accepting things the way people say it. I'm ready to defend myself and speak my truth. I've fallen down more than 7 times. But fall down 7, stand up 8. But I'm willing to get back up. As long as my legs can work, my knees work, my feet work, I'm going to get back up. You've come to the point where you've aligned yourself with understanding that when I dig deep down, sometimes messages can't come out that I don't want to hear, but it does show me in constant motion. I may have to start back again. But like I tell you and I tell everyone, when you start back, you're not starting back from the bottom. You're starting back from a level of growth. You're not going back to square one. because you've learned so much that has gotten you further than you even dreamed possible. And now you're realizing with every start, you're not starting at the same place because you're learning from every level. There's a message in everything. So when you take the message you learned the last time you failed at something and it didn't stop you, what was the message? So when you got back up, you didn't start from that same point because you went beyond when you were climbing. So now, even though you may have fallen up some levels higher up, you're going to start back at the level that you fell off because you've worked your way to that point already. You're not going to do a repeat. And even if you had to, you still picked up knowledge around the way that helped you to get back up quicker. You had to learn something. Something. You know, you know how I look at I look at you, Libra. I look at you like the Terminator, the liquid silver Terminator that came to destroy everything. So every time you experience something, you absorb that information. Remember how he could absorb information and change and become other people? You continue to learn. And as you're learning, you're still climbing. So if somebody comes after you and you may not know everything, but you know enough that you can get over that hurdle because what? Look at you. Look at all this work that you are putting in. This is beautiful. And you notice that all of this has transpired. You're still working diligently. You still have wealth. You're still on solid ground. You're still being assertive. I didn't say aggressive. I said assertive because you're going after what you want. And people could look you in your eyes and see how serious you are about moving forward. Your friends might say, I've never seen you this way. You're so focused. You're so determined. What's going on? What's going on? That's how you are. People are like, what's going on? And you've picked up so much knowledge around the way. You know, like if you used to live, okay, let's say you move from where you live and you go visit your family. People will see you and be like, wow, wow, Libras, you look good. What you been doing? What's happening with you? What's going on in your life? Ooh, what's going on in your life? You're doing so much. You look great. That's how it is when you go back and see them because they can see. They can be witnesses for the change in you. The change in you is a beautiful thing. You don't think? Are you seeing it? And you know, when you start looking that good and everything, that's when you start meditating more on yourself and your goals and your dreams. And it relaxes you. You breathe, you focus, you climb. You breathe, you focus, you climb. You breathe, you focus, you climb. Let it become repetitive in your life that you constantly acknowledge the fact that I've been through some stuff, but I'm all right. I'm all right. I've been through some stuff, but I'm all right. I'm all right. And that's what I say. Words have meanings. And when you constantly say something and you start believing in it, you start already seeing it in your life, envisioning it. You're making it tangible where you can almost taste it. So you know you don't have that far to still go. And as you continue to move forward, you start to recognize who you are, what your purpose is, and how you're going to achieve it. So now when people see you more and more, you look like $1,000,000. You sound like $1,000,000. And you're so positive because you've been through those storms. You just laugh when you hear people trying to praise you. You say, no, it's not me, it's my source. It's my faith. It's my belief. It's my actions. It's my sweat equity. They all go hand in hand to help you elevate because it gives you a strong and solid foundation. And then you'll end up teaching them how to be their best selves because you now know because you've been through it. People listen to you because you did what you said you were going to do. And it's real. It's real. So when you laugh with joy, enjoy it because it took you a minute to get to where you are. It just didn't happen overnight. Nobody didn't give you nothing. The reason this person partnered with you in the first place was because of the fact they see you working diligently. They see you about your business. And you look so good, you must be doing something right. And then 111 comes in and say, well, you're on the right path. You're on the right path. And you keep moving forward and you keep going and growing. And before you know it, you're the master of your craft. And people are going to be booking you to help them restart their lives. Listen, you have a lot of positive options on your path. And with your partner and you all bouncing ideas off of each other, you can create the wealth that you are seeking. But do know that you've earned the right to be where you are. Not trying to appease anyone, just trying to do a good job, be true and faithful to it, learn as much as you can because you're a sponge at times, and take off with it. Because of your hard work and your strategic moves, you're going to be just fine. You have a feather in your cap. You have growth on your mind and you're about your business, which is good. All of this exemplifies work. And then finally you get a partner and then everything else falls in line as you sit on your throne and you recognize your skills, your gifts, and you say to yourself, Libra, job well done. Job well done. This is what it's about. This moment, this feeling, this guidance, you acknowledging your gifts and digging deep down inside to unveil and uncover them. This is your dream being revealed. This is your purpose. Go for it. Don't be ashamed to be who you are and to be your best self. Stay true, believe, keep the faith, and don't let obstacles get you off your path because we know that you're already on the right path. So just keep striving and going forward. And most important, don't give up. Garnetqueentarot here saying, be inspired to rise. Be your best self. See what is out in front of you. Ask the needful questions. Research. There's so much you can do to better yourself. What's the most important thing besides praying to your source? Knowing your purpose and lining up all the steps necessary to achieving it and listening to your intuition because it will reveal messages to you that you may have missed along the way. Put the time and the sweat equity in like you've been doing. Listen out for the messages and pay attention to the signs. You are on the right path. You are on the right path. Dive in, block out the noise, and continue climbing. Take care. Garnetqueentarot here saying, the process can whip your butt. But when you come out with your rewards, it was well worth it. All those experiences. Take care. Talk soon. Thank you for stopping by the channel. Visitors, thank you. You are all appreciated. Garnet Queen Tarot. Be inspired to rise. Take care. Talk soon.